You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on ourlonestar.com.
Hello, and welcome to Conroe Culture on Lone Star Community Radio from Downtown Conroe. I am your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR, and we are here every Monday at noon to 1. So we have some fabulous guests today, and you're going to hear all about it. My first guest is going to be Barry Katz, so we're going to give a few newsworthy updates, and then Barry is it's going to be about the Barry Katz Show and all the things that are going on this week, because this is Katz Week, in case you don't know, and who doesn't love Katz's Deli? So it was a big weekend in downtown Conroe. Oh my gosh. We had 54 live bands in 6 venues starting Friday at 6 and went till after 6 p.m. yesterday. Was it continuous all night and all day? Yeah, pretty much. I'm here to tell you. Yes, it was. And it was fabulous. We had so many great performers, and this has never been done in downtown Conroe or anywhere else. So just saying. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And the really neat thing is we had a wonderful finale with Dale Watson, Roy Benson, Guy Forsythe, Bruce Robeson, Kelly Willis. I mean, just so many wonderful things. And where else can you see this? So coming down from that a little bit, summer school signups are ongoing for Conroe ISD. Now, they do have STAR testing this week, from what I understand, for grades 3 through 8. So give them a break, make sure they eat, understand they're going to be a little bit stressed out, but this is to evaluate reading, math, writing, science, and of course, this is brought on by our sponsors, the state of Texas. So, you know, it's for academic readiness, and it is known as STAR, and it's state mandated standardized testing. So primary and secondary schools will be doing this. So for those that need some more activities, again, the summer school signups are going on, and it will keep your kids engaged throughout the summer for short programs to help them enhance their reading, science, and math skills. So you can go to the Conroe ISD website to find out more information about that. So upcoming this week is also West Side Story, and we're very excited about that. That is at the Owen Theater, and that will premiere Friday, and it will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and for several weekends after that. So do not miss that. Premieres May 12th. And it is, of course, the updated Romeo and Juliet story based in New York style, ghetto style. So May 14th, which happens to be this Sunday, is Crawfish Sunday at Southern Star Brewing. And, of course, they always have something going on. They're engaged throughout the community with fabulous brews. The Conroe Chamber Taste Fest will be May 11th, Thursday. It is a feeding frenzy with so many restaurants, and you need to not eat that day till you go, because there will be, I don't know how many restaurants, over 60 restaurants, and a different wine and beer sampling. And if you buy tickets now, it's $15 in advance, $25 at the door, all you can eat, food and drink. And yes, it's family friendly, so you bring the whole family in there, have an evening of it, bring your friends, and that's at Lone Star Convention Center. So you can go to conroe.org and get tickets for that. So also Friday, the day after Taste Fest, is the Katz's Never Closes grand opening. And we're going to hear more about that. But they have a week of events. They have just remodeled their whole venue. It is now wait staff instead of counter staff. The menu is huge, and we're going to have Barry tell us about that. But tomorrow is the Will Herndon Fund. They are giving 50% of the sales that day to the Will Herndon Fund to combat juvenile Batten disease. And so that will be all day. And Wednesday, it's going to the cats and dogs of the animal shelter and Operation Pets Alive. And again, 50% will go back to that organization. And then the big party is Friday, 6 to noon, with 70s costume contest, New York trivia, a ceremonial cutting off of the locks of the door so that the only locks will be on their bagels, and 70s pricing on food. So more to that in a minute. So, what I want to do now is welcome Barry Katz to the show.
Thank you for having me, Margie.
We're so excited. So, lots going on.
Lots of opportunity here for Katz's that never closes.
So, tell me when you opened up.
We opened our first store in the Houston area in 2000.
In 2000, but you were founded in 1979.
That's correct. My dad opened the first Katz's in Texas in 1979 in Austin, Texas.
And is it still in Austin?
It is not. He has since retired.
So he is retired and you're carrying on the legacy.
That's correct. Happy to do so.
And you have Westheimer. Tell me about the Westheimer location.
The Westheimer location is a 24-hour restaurant with breakfast, lunch, and dinner served all day. And our flagship tagline is Katz's Never Closes.
And it will never after Friday, right?
Our Woodlands locations, we're making the same as our Westheimer location, where we'll have full service. We'll offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours a day, and we'll provide our tagline, Katz's Never Closes.
So there's just been so much going on there. How long have you been at that location in the Woodlands?
We just recently celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
10 years. So this is a great time for a redo, and it looks spectacular in there because you never closed the store, except for normal hours, during this whole renovation, correct?
That's correct. We did all the work overnight over 6 weeks of remodeling and renovation.
So each day it looks a little different.
It does. Yeah, it's been fun every day. I'll kind of miss it when it's over. Parts of it, not all of it. Parts of it I'll miss.
It's been a high kind of thing.
Absolutely. Tons of fun. Yeah, hard to sleep.
I understand that
Yes.
concept. So all inside, the furniture is all upholstered in red and looks wonderful.
Thank you.
The ceiling, new lighting, everything, right?
Yeah, everything new, front of house, all new design. We used Michael Shu, who developed Uchi and Shake Shack and several other well-known national restaurants, and we have a whole new look and feel to the place that's very inviting and warm and comforting for our guests.
And family friendly.
Absolutely.
But you also have a new bar concept.
We do. We offer draft beer and wine as well at our food counter, so we're excited about that.
There's just so much going on. So it's wait staff instead of counter service. So that kind of puts it at a different level too, because your people will coming around to the tables to take your orders, correct?
Correct, yeah. As the area has grown with more hospitals and venues, music festivals and things like that in the evenings, we've had a hard time closing at night. And customers keep coming to us at 8:30, 9:30. Katz's never closes. So finally, after our 10-year anniversary, we're going to make good on our slogan.
Well, people are very excited about that.
Absolutely. So are we.
Word on the street. Yes, we talk about the West Side Story performance, the Crichton right next to us, they have performances. And like you, when they're done with their performance, they're still like, okay, I'm not ready to go to bed yet,
Right.
And I need to go get a bite. And so, it's great that you have a venue where they can go to that isn't some of the others. It's kind of classy.
Yes.
And you have a full menu.
Yeah, exactly. People are real excited about breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours. Some people like dinner. Some people like breakfast frittatas or omelets or bagel lox. So, everyone can get what they want at Katz's.
So full menu, 24/7.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So what are some of the new things? Have you had implemented new menu items
We have.
to the Woodlands?
Absolutely. We have new soups. We have new salads. We have new appetizers and even some new breakfast items. So everyone needs to come out and check it out. And our new menu is just spectacular. We've started our soft opening a couple days ago, and the guests have just been enjoying all aspects of it. It's been a lot of fun and very rewarding to have all the positive feedback.
So unfortunately, we forgot to bring one of the menus but that's okay. It would cover our face, right?
Absolutely. It might be tough to fit in here.
It's about the size of half of the door.
Yeah,
I don't know. Seems that way.
That's about right.
It's hardbound, so it's not like flimsy paper or anything like that. And it's easy to read.
Yeah.
Easy to navigate, sectioned off as to the different categories. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited about it, and especially to be part of something so big. And that's why it's called I Love Katz, right?
.com. That's who we are.
ILoveKatz's.com. TZS.com. So don't forget that part. So what else can you tell us about things that are going on with you guys?
We have all the information on our website, ILoveKatz's.com, about our grand opening on the 12th, and we're excited about that. And just the positive feedback for being part of the community, from charity events to offering a different menu items and selections that have not been offered out here. And our design of the restaurant is different than anything else out in this area.
It is different. So we're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back and ask you some questions a little bit more in depth about the restaurant and your specialties. I hear there's cheesecake shakes and cheesecake sandwiches. Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR, Conroe Culture. We'll be right back.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
And we're back on Conroe Culture, Downtown Conroe, Lone Star Community Radio. I am your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. Lots of exciting things going on. Of course, there's a lot of exciting things going on because we're in downtown Conroe. So I am here today with Barry Katz, and he is super excited about all the things going on with his restaurant, Katz's Deli in the Woodlands, and it is located at the Portofino Center in Shenandoah, actually. You know, it's kind of one of those things that it's Shenandoah, Conroe, and the Woodlands all combined, and there's several places that are kind of like that. I think FM 1488 is kind of, oh, and they have Magnolia, too. So it depends on where you are. Depends on what it looks like. But anyway, so Katz's Never Closes will start Friday. And there's a whole lot of activity going on Friday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing a key cutting ceremony since we won't need our keys anymore.
See, and that's cool. So I think that's at 9 o'clock, I think is kind of what we
9
said.
9 p.m., that's correct.
But we have a chamber pre-party starting 4:30. The City of Shenandoah people will be coming out to do a ribbon cutting. You have the Conroe Chamber coming out to do a ribbon cutting. Oh, and let's not forget the 70s costume contest.
Absolutely. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, and cash prizes.
Yes. I've heard a lot of buzz about that. People are really excited about getting dressed up in the costumes.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful. One of our friends is going to be dressed up as, I don't recall her name, but the Scooby-Doo girl.
Okay.
Is her name Daphne or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
We're going back to the comic thing.
Okay.
But she has a wig to wear and all of that. So,
how fun is that?
Yes. So that's going to be really fun. So, and then also 70s pricing on the food.
Yes, that's exactly right.
So that's a big throwback.
Sandwiches, $2 or $3. I mean, unbelievable. Real giant New York-sized sandwiches. So, yeah, amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, talking about sandwiches.
Yes.
You have a specialty. I know you have the Reuben.
Yeah, that's our signature.
Because that's where I go and get the Reuben sandwiches.
Absolutely. We cook our own corned beef pastrami. We bake our own rye bread. We make our own Russian dressing. And our special sauerkraut. I mean, that's our signature sandwich, our Reuben sandwich.
And they're not just any Reuben. You can get them in several sizes, right?
That's right. Different sizes. Corned beef, pastrami, turkey pastrami, however you like.
So you will not go away hungry.
Absolutely not. That's not we've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't even have that.
You also, you have a specialty food for gluten-free, vegan, and all of that as well.
We do, gluten-free bread.
You have a variety of things to meet the preferences of people and their dietary concerns as well. So that's great.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Gluten-free bread kind of opens up a lot of the menu with the sandwiches. And some of the entrees can be gluten-free as well.
Do you have pasta?
We do.
And you have pasta that possibly could be gluten-free?
We do not.
You do not. But
Not
that's
yet.
something you can work on.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, so we talked about the Reuben sandwich is your specialty, but you also have a couple other specialties. What are those?
Yes, we're known for our New York cheesecake, and we've kind of evolved that in a couple different ways. Well, of course, just a slice of cheesecake with fresh whipped cream. It's a colossal size.
Sounds good.
It's delicious. You can also order that 2 other ways. We do a cheesecake sandwich, as well as our famous cheesecake milkshake that we put a whole slice of cheesecake in every milkshake, blended up with the graham cracker crust, as well as the bluebell ice cream and milk and everything, and it is absolutely delicious. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, or Oreo flavors.
Wow.
Amazing. It really is a heart attack in a glass.
Yeah, that's good news. So I definitely need to get back on the running kick again.
It's
but
worth
I mean,
running for.
Yeah, I can't wait to go try it. And the cheesecake sandwich too. If they haven't ever, are you the only one that has that? A
I
cheesecake
think we
sandwich?
are. I've never seen it anywhere else.
How did you create that? Where did that come from?
Oh gosh, you know, you start playing around the kitchen and you just never know what happens. You know, we created a different bun. It started with the bun, this brioche roll for burgers, and we're like, God, wouldn't it be great to have a cheesecake sandwich? And it's like a cheese quiche almost. And so, you know, it's delicious with strawberry sauce and our powdered sugar and our brioche rolls and stuff. It's to die for.
It's more like a pastry kind of sandwich.
It is, yes. Yeah.
It's not like on rye bread like the Reuben or anything.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it's a huge dessert.
So
it's great for splitting.
It is really
good.
good.
It's rich and it's delicious
add that
to split.
splitting thing. Yeah, very definitely. So a lot of great food, a lot of wonderful things going on. What is the most exciting part of all this to you?
Oh gosh, I don't think there is a most exciting. It's all together. The design has just turned out better than I could imagine. The look and the feel and the warmth of the restaurant's great. The size of the new menu, as well as the menu items, and just everyone's response to all those things, and a quality 24-hour restaurant. That's been one of the biggest surprises. Is that people are like, "That is so great." They want it. They love it. They want
They
it 24
didn't just like it; they loved it.
Absolutely. And so us doing exactly what we've done on Westheimer for 17 years out here in Conroe, people are very excited about that.
So again, that starts at 6 and goes till 10. It's 70s food pricing, 70s costume contest, and we didn't even mention the trivia contest.
No, we didn't either. Forgot about that for a second.
There's some 70s mixed in with New York music, and no, you can't use your iPhones. So there's prizes for this, and we're going to have 3 rounds, 10 questions each. Some will be easy, some will be a little more complicated.
Nice.
But, I mean, it's all about the winning, too. So, you know, participate. There's no cost to this. I mean, you just come and enjoy. This is a party. And we're also going to be having the 96.5 crew out there, the morning crew.
Yeah, doing a live broadcast.
They'll be doing the 70s genre music.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're having a disc jockey out there earlier in the day. I mean, they're coming later. I'm not sure, 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be helping do the judging for the costume contest. I mean, seriously, everybody needs to come out. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and you do have your webpage, which is ilovekatz.com, Katzs, and there's also the Facebook page if you want things by the minute as to what's going on, because there's always something going on. And when you go to that Facebook page, you will see the photos of the food. I mean, isn't that what you want to see in a restaurant, is the photos of the food?
Oh, yeah.
So it's Katz Deli Houston is the Facebook page, and they're also on Instagram because Instagram's all about the photos. And so it's Katz Deli HOU on Instagram. Follow them. Anything else you want to add, Barry? We forgot to add, you're the cook,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. New York food, Texas friendly.
Yeah, so you help create all these things yourself.
Oh, yeah, we have lots of new items.
You're the master cook.
Thank you. Yeah, we have lots of new items I've put on the menu under appetizers, soups, salads, and so forth that we're real excited about. And the main thing is the food is fresh and fantastic, and I can't help it, I got to tell you.
That's right.
Katz's never closes, starting Friday night.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks, Barry.
Thank
We're
you.
going to take another little break, and we'll be back on Margie Taylor, Taylorized PR, Conroe Culture from Lone Star Community Radio, Downtown Conroe.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? The Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hello, this is Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture. We are here at Lone Star Community Radio in downtown Conroe. That was Barry Katz was on our show. And hopefully you guys can all see this grand opening party this Friday. But what I want to do now is talk about what just happened here this last weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't think I've really slept since then. And I didn't sleep really during the weekend. So I have Harold Hutchison, fondly known as Hutch, here with the Conroe Visitors Bureau, and he's been part of our team. And the coordinator and concept maker that created this whole thing is Rodney Poole, and they have both been on the show before talking about different things, different shows here at Lone Star Community Radio. But Rodney Poole of Corner Pub and the Conroe Americana Music Festival, he helped create all of this. So tell me, Rodney, how fabulous was it?
It was fabulous. Couldn't have been better, I think. Everybody we talked to, we had a good crowd. Everyone we talked to was happy with it. The bands left saying, how do we sign up for next year? We had talked to people that are from out of state that said they're coming back. So I think our businesses were happy. Everybody done well, I think, down here.
And the streets weren't closed, so people can walk through
absolutely
from one place
right.
to another.
Right, and that was kind of the atmosphere that we wanted to have. Is that, and I think we've accomplished that. We've had some great volunteers, and and sponsors, and I just can't say enough about that. Those that were involved in it, we've been working on this since September, and it came together nicely. I think everybody was happy with it.
And all the bands were here. They seemed to all have a great time, and there were 54 bands.
54 bands.
54 bands. I mean, is that happen anywhere else?
I would no. I would take.
No.
Think about that very long. But our lineup, I would compare. I go to a lot of festivals and been doing it for years and years, and so the concept kind of originated, and Hutch was very much involved in that original concept. He and I've been talking about this for
Right, Hutch?
for a number of years, and so we've been talking about this for 4 or 5 years, and so we finally decided with Hutch kind of giving us the
push to go forward.
The push to go forward. He said, "Well, let's just go for it," So we took that as a charge ahead, and we started organizing a team. We felt like we had a real good team, and we're just thrilled to death over it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Hutch?
Rodney really made it happen.
He did.
He really did.
He pushed it.
And
He pushed it forward and got his excitement, and his passion was contagious. And he got everybody else excited about it. And I know him and I talked at the beginning, too, and picked the date. And you've been a part of it with all the marketing and everything you've done.
Yeah. An interesting thing is 4 years ago, or maybe longer than that, I brought a guy to town, and we were talking about a festival like this. And Rodney was a big part of this tour around here. And that deal fell apart. And then Rodney comes walking in and says, you know what, let's do this ourselves. And doggone, now
It happened.
Now with more venues downtown to really make it play out, it happened.
It did.
It's a dream come true.
And you don't really know how something's going to happen. I mean, you have an idea and you have a concept, but until it's implemented and the event is ongoing, you don't really have precedence or know what's going to happen. But it was a pretty well-greased machine that, everybody knew their role. Everybody had a part in it. It wasn't just one person. There were so many people that made it happen that they took responsibility for their area and went with it.
Oh, they did. I'll just jump in and say that. I've worked with a lot of committees. I've never seen a committee like this committee. I mean, everybody that was in that committee did their job over and above. And it was just wonderful to see.
It is nice to see.
People jump in like that and take ownership of something.
And if you didn't hear about it, people have heard about it at this point. They go, gosh darn it, I missed it. So, yeah, you got to wait till 2018 now. Now, Dick here also was a part of it. And what did you think, Dick?
I think overall, I want to do it again. I'm still in festival mode.
I know. It's kind of like you're high from all the action and everything that's been going on and all the talent. There's a lot of talent out here.
It's quite remarkable to be able to gather all those people together in one place for one weekend. And I'm guarantee you everyone's going to come back.
The band seemed pretty happy, didn't they, Rodney?
They did, yes. And we tried to mix the genres. I mean, we wanted a mix. We tried to get our local bands involved in it. I think they were thrilled to death to be a part of it, because some of these older bands, these guys, our younger guys looked up to these older, so they were thrilled just to be a part of it.
They did seem excited.
Yeah, and just to be here and be on the same stage as
Right.
So it was fun for us, and you know, some of the unsung heroes on this thing. We got a work crew that many people don't see them, but I know Thursday night everybody was running everywhere trying to get set up. We had our VIP party down at the park, and Shiny Ribs was there, and we were moving tents and chairs, and all this takes place when nobody sees that. Last night we had to get our downtown back in shape, and so they were here doing all of that. So they are unsung heroes.
Well,
And a
they
lot of-
are. I
yeah.
saw them taking down that tent like within minutes.
Right.
The two large tents, and they were great. And I know that was a part of Events Plus
Right.
input and
Right.
the tables and things like that. And then you've got some people that have been even, I'm serious, taking the trash because there
Oh, yeah.
wasn't trash. I mean, sometimes when you go to festivals, you see stuff just hanging out or things on the ground. No, none of that. This was a clean, nicely run festival where everybody, again, worked together and you could walk between the venues. People were friendly. If you had a question with something, they figured out. They help you out. They were there to respond. All the people with the event venues were receptive to whatever needed to go happening. And so the place down the street, the Sparkle House, which is now called, what is it called? Pacific Yard House? Is that?
Pacific Yard
Oh,
House.
thank gosh. That is a wonderful venue too. And if you haven't checked that out, he made that happen like in 10 seconds, right?
That's right. Yeah. He took that building in a matter of 6 to 8 weeks and really converted it into something that was usable. It's not open yet officially, but I think he's going to be a great asset to downtown. We're excited about. He's going to be involved in things.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be involved in the Downtown Association, and he's excited about all the growth and things that are happening. So this was a good debut for him,
Right.
you know, for people to come out there. I know they're working on lighting and different things like that, but hey, it worked.
And it's going to be a full-blown restaurant as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Which is great.
I think it's great. I mean, the more people that are coming and venturing into downtown, the better it is for all of us.
Absolutely.
So what are your views of everything so far, Hutch? What have you been hearing? Have you been hearing from any of the city people or anything?
Yes, I have. And I shouldn't put the words in the mayor's mouth, but
He was here also. He was enjoying
Oh, yes, he was very involved in it. I ran into him and his wife and his granddaughter more
Saturday.
than once.
Yep.
And he was very supportive. I saw him this morning at City Hall. And like I said, I can't speak for the mayor, but he said, you guys have got to do this again.
That's awesome.
And that feels good to hear that sort of
Yes.
thing. It really does.
Yes, and coming from the mayor, of course. And Paul and some of our other dignitaries and city council have been involved, come and go to what's going on. So that's all important.
You know, there's somebody, we had wonderful sponsors on this. So
Yes.
many people stepped up to be sponsors. But I think that Southern Star Brewing Company really needs a real
They need the
mention
recognition
as well,
because they were great.
Dave Fucheron, who's the brewmaster and CEO out there, he stepped up early on and said, I want to be a title sponsor. And they've just been a real team player. And I think in the future, other people will see what they did and how successful it was for them. And others will step in and take title.
He's a gracious sponsor. And of course, that's the only beer we sold, just saying, Southern Star.
Right.
But it was a fabulous event. And some of the bands that participated were, can you name some? I mean, it's,
There's so many of them. It's hard to pick one out. I mean,
and you don't want to miss anybody. But
yeah, right. Every band was, we consider a headliner. Any festival in Texas, particularly Texas, you can go to a festival and you're going to see one or two of these bands. But our lineup was just packed with what we call headliners. So we couldn't really say this guy's a headliner because
there were so many
they were all
good
headliners.
people.
Yeah, right.
And I
right.
guess that one of the complaints I heard, if you want to call it a complaint, is that there were too many people to see all at the same time. So you had to choose, are you going to watch this guy for 15 minutes, a couple sets? Or are you going to run across down the road to a different one that's playing at the exact same time?
Well, we consciously tried to create that because we wanted people moving around downtown, and maybe going and seeing a band over here and say, I'm going to see them for 30 minutes, but
Right.
I want to leave and I'm going to go see this band before I miss him. So that was and
That was a
looking at our
conscious effort.
schedule, looking at our schedule, that's what we tried to schedule in. We didn't want, typical festivals, you may have your headliners have maybe played the last hour, 2 hours, and so the crowd builds up. Sometimes the crowd would come in only for those, just to see the headliners. But if you had headliners sprinkled across your schedule,
Right.
then it gets people to come in early to see this guy, and they say, "Oh, we're here. We're going to see this guy
Come early,
too." So
stay late.
that's right. And so
And go
we
to the-
created that.
Go to the party afterward.
Right.
You had a jam at the.
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, that came together at the last minute. Ray Benson came up with the idea. He was one of the last to finish, and he's a headliner, one of those
Yes.
headliners. I
Yes.
mean, he's been around for years and years with the Sleep at the Wheel. But he went to our stage manager, and he said, why don't we get, he knew all the other bands playing in his time frame. And he said, why don't we get them all to play the same song at the same time when we close it down? So we'd get them all to play the same. And he said, well, I coordinate it. He said, I go talk to the bands and we'll coordinate it. If y'all be willing to do it. So we said, oh yeah, whatever you want to do, take off. It sounded great to us. And then our stage manager suggested, he said, well, let's just have the bands come down here. When they close out at 6 o'clock, let's have them all come down here. And Ray said, oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to go do that. So he went and talked to the bands, and sure enough, they all said, we'll be down there.
And it was fabulous.
Yeah, that's right. He said, let's keep this kind of a surprise. Just tell everybody. We won't ever stage to announce it, but just tell them it's a special surprise for them. It turned out great. Didn't last long. It lasted about 30 minutes, but all the bands got up and started playing together, and it was really
And the crowd rushed.
And the crowd
like
rushed
they
up.
do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
With all their videos
Right,
and pictures and all of that. So you had Ray Benson, Dale Watson, Guy Forsythe,
right.
um,
Carolyn Wonderland,
Kelly Willis.
Bruce Robinson, Kelly
Yes.
Willis. They were all on the stage,
And it was great.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a good
Right,
finale.
right.
And then also Saturday night you had a jam out there that was pretty good at the
Yeah,
corner pub.
right.
Not the same as the final jam,
Right.
but you still had it going on.
Yep.
People would congregate afterwards, and different bands that wanted to stay and play, they could.
Or we had a guitar player from one band, a drummer from another. We gave them an opportunity because
A
they all
collaboration.
know each other,
Sure.
and so they had an opportunity to get together and play, and it was really spectacular, I thought.
Well, as far as the Convention and Visitor Bureau is concerned, this was a real success. Truly, our hotels are very happy. And
They were at capacity, weren't they?
Well, they were up there. We're going to do a formal survey tomorrow to find out.
'Cause I heard
just
some
where
people
we
talking
were.
about it, and they couldn't find a place to stay.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
Hey,
But,
That's a great.
that's a good problem.
That's a great problem. I actually heard. I think Rodney told me this morning there was a couple in here from out of town that had only come for the day and decided to buy a toothbrush and spend the night.
Yep.
Found a room.
That's nice.
Stayed for the next day.
That's a compliment.
That's
That's awesome.
A great thing.
We're going to take a break here and come back a little bit more about the Conroe Americana Music Festival and plans to go forward in 2018. I'm Margie Taylor, your host for Conroe Culture from Downtown Conroe.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Hello, we are live on Conroe Culture at Lone Star Community Radio. I'm your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR, and we are doing a wrap-up of the Conroe Americana Music Festival that happened Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in 6 venues with 54 bands. How does that happen? It takes strategic planning is how that happens. I mean, everything is a well-oiled machine. And we did not mention, but I would like to mention Tracy Tracy Brandon was our booking agent for all that, and she coordinated this, right?
Right, right,
That is some task.
right. Yeah, Tracy, I met Tracy several years ago. She used to do all the booking for Heights Live, which is a music venue in Heights, in Houston. Uh, she did some work for us at the corner pub. She booked some bands, so I had a pretty good relationship with her, knew her background, and liked her a lot. We became real good friends, and so when we started thinking about this, I called Tracy and said, "Hey, Tracy, we got this idea we're talking about, and would you be interested in getting involved in this?" And she said, "Oh, I'd love to." So anyway, through all of that, she came down, and we had meeting after meeting with the Mark Taylor.
Mark Taylor, yes.
Yeah, Mark. Mark is also a book talent finder and a good friend of mine, and I've worked with him on many projects. And so we kind of got together and started strategizing on the bands, and had a list. Started with a list, and got other lists from anybody we knew that would like to see come to this event. So we started with that list, and then we just started massaging it. And we said, "Okay, Tracy, here's what we want. Go to work. We got 6 venues, and go to work for us." And so she did. She booked every band. Of course, there were some bands. I mean, she contacted probably 100 bands, and many of
It's
them.
a lot of work.
Oh, it is.
And then I'm sure they have little peculiarities and things that's going on.
Right. You go through contract.
It's a negotiation.
Yeah, you go through contract negotiations,
Right.
and you yes and no some things, and strike some things out, and add some things. And some bands request special riders that they want this, they want that, and so it's a big job. It's not very glamorous sometimes, but she's very professional. She deals with the bands. She knows how to do it. And she was instrumental in making that. But there were so many.
There were
people.
so many people.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
it's just,
and I really like how gracious all the people were at the venues too. Between the Corner Pub, Red Brick, Martin's,
right.
Paul, the Pacific Yard House. I hope I'm calling it, alias the Conroe Sparkle House. So that's where it is on Pacific. But that makes sense. The Pacific Yard House. It's on Pacific. Just
right.
Hadn't thought about that. And then the 2 big tents we had one called the CDAA tent, which is stage 2,
Right.
which is the Conroe Downtown Area Association. And then we had the Southern Star Brewing tent, which was stage 1.
Right.
So, and they all kind of worked together. And like you said, everybody got together, put the tents up, got everything taken care of, made sure people were taken care of at the volunteer booth. We had Brownlee's Jewelers and Branding Iron, both Janice and Debbie, that were coordinating that effort. We had Sarah from Cowtown Couture, which was doing the hospitality area for the bands and making sure all their needs were met and that they had food and refreshments and all that. Because without the bands, you don't have a music festival.
Right.
So
And we had Margie
just doesn't
Taylor,
work.
and we had Margie Taylor with Taylor.
Taylorized PR.
Right. So we had a great team. I mean, everybody really worked together, and in many cases, this was the first exposure a lot of these people had with this kind of event, and so I think everybody was a little bit relieved Sunday.
Yes,
But there was a lot of-
relieved and
yeah,
happy
right,
and
right.
just flying high on how well it was. I mean, it kind of all started with Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. There were so many of us in there.
Yep.
It was unbelievable. On TV, live, on KHOU with Sherry Williams. That was really a fun time,
Yeah,
too.
that was, yeah.
That
So-
was fun.
I mean, I didn't know that many people would be up at 5 a.m.
I didn't know that many people were watching.
I didn't know there was a 5 a.m.
I didn't know that many people watch TV at 5 a.m. I've been approached by a number of people that said I pretty much ruined their day. They looked up from their coffee, and there I was on TV.
There it is. But that was fun. That's kind of when it started, and
Right.
we rode that train.
Right.
Thursday night with the VIP reception went really well out there
Yes.
at Heritage Park. Everybody got to eat. Red Brick Tavern and Southern Star provided the food and drink. So it was a really wonderful event. So we'll make plans for 2018 to make it better. And I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, right. Well,
so,
I mean, we've already seen some suggestions, and so we're welcoming suggestions, constructive suggestions, and so we'll begin to look at all of this, and we'll have some meetings. We've asked everybody to make a list, all the committee people, and make a list, what we did good, what we did bad. We certainly learned some things. We made a few mistakes, but I think overall it was a great start. I just, we set the bar real high, and I just don't know.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I just don't know how we can improve.
It's not even about being better.
Right.
It's about doing it again.
Yeah.
A lot of people were asking me on the street. Seriously, they did. They go, so is this the first and last? Or what does inaugural mean? I said, we will do this next year. Guaranteed. So we're going to bring it. And there was even some comments compared to Nashville and Austin.
Oh, yeah, I got that from several people that compared it to Austin that said that this was better.
It was better.
Yeah, comically, one guy says there's fewer drunks. I didn't spot any.
Yeah, and actually, we really didn't have any problems to speak of either.
No, it was very family friendly. It was incredible. And it was so easy to get in and out. The parking,
It was casual. It was informal. You could walk. You could park, like you said.
Absolutely.
Free parking.
Yeah.
We had vendors out here. We had a whole food truck village out here Friday and Saturday of a lot of food trucks. It was done very well, and people are excited about it, and it's only going to grow, and I can't wait to see what happens next time. They were saying that it was better than Austin and some of these other places, Nashville, because number one, they had more bands, that it was easy to walk to, and people were nice. They like Downtown Conroe. So
I heard someone compare it to Steamboat, and I'm
I heard that too.
Yeah, that it was as good or better.
No, I heard it was better. I heard that from the band people.
Isn't that cool?
That we were friendlier to the bands.
That's important.
So,
because that word gets out on the street pretty quick, and so they
sure
communicate. If they have a bad experience, then they're going to tell everybody, don't do that, or we had this bad experience.
Well, maybe we need to sign them up now for next
Well,
year
they've
and
asked.
lock them
Once
in.
we, Well, once we get our date set, then that's what we'd start doing. We'd start booking them.
So we've got that. We have something going on again. It's going to happen again next year. You can go to our Facebook page, which is Conroe Americana Music Festival. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. There's live, there's photos. There's going to be more photos added. You can read some of the reviews. There was a lot of videos taken. Somehow they all got on there. I guess I was a busy girl. Anyway, there's a lot of things that you'll be seeing on there. So stay tuned to what's going on with that. But also, Hutch, you've got stuff going on this week.
Yeah, this is National Tourism Week, and the CVB is having a seminar tomorrow, inviting a lot of
different people,
city employees and city council, stuff like that, and some of our hotels and the merchants around here to hear a really good speaker out of A&M, Dr. Petrick. He is a tourism expert, travels all over the world speaking on the economics behind tourism. As a matter of fact, tourism brings into Montgomery County over $29,000 a year in just taxes, which blows a lot of people away. Everybody thinks it's always the big cities and places like that make the money out of tourism, but
you bring in a lot of people coming in here. How many people come in here annually? Any idea?
My word,
a lot.
Yeah, I could.
But people don't think of Conroe as a tourist destination.
No, but to come up with $29,000 in taxes that are
just taxes
that go into the revenues, that's according to the governor's office. That ain't bad.
No. And then you also help with different grants and things like that to bring more events and tourism into the city.
Well, yep, that's the use of that hotel occupancy tax. Those strangers sleeping in our hotels, we use their money and make it
keep it going.
Make life better for everybody here. You bet.
So that's all we have really on the show today. And there will be a video, there will be a YouTube video of this put on social media tomorrow. And you can always go to irlonestar.com to listen live, or go to FM 104.5, 106.1. And I am your host, Margie Taylor. Next Monday, we will hear from Products of Peyton, David James, and he's very involved in teen suicide in our community. So it's a very touching story. We hope you've enjoyed the show today. I'd love to hear from you. contact me via Facebook at Conroe Culture, or go on to the website, irlonestar.com. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for checking out this recording from Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station and broadcasted live from Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Interested in sponsoring this show, being a guest, hosting your own show? Then please visit us online at irlonestar.com and check out the Contact Us page. We want to say thank you to our studio supporters. Our traffic sponsor, Conroe Americana Music Festival at ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com. For more information about the show, please check out the information below in the description.